Hope all you swabbies are still awake. Late Night Mega here, and we're back with 15th place by Lunu Leaf. It's Minari Hydrospace Center. This is what I'm talking about with names. Average score of 73.75. 2 judges gave it a 66, 1 judge gave it a 77, and come on MJack, that should have been an 88. Leave it to MJack to screw up the judging. No, I don't think the judges knew each other's scores when doing this. I don't know what this music is from, but it's kind of loud. I do appreciate that the music changes up just before things get to be a little too annoying. Okay, so far we have the Chompers and those guys, the penguins, introduced. We have that enemy introduced. We have more Chompers. So far it's just been kind of a run and gun stage. I don't really mind these enemies and stuff we've been having, but... Okay, we already killed like 8 of those. Did we really need a screen with just that? I meant to make it... Oh, well, there was no real penalty. Okay. Probably a nice spot for the checkpoint before nice, safe introduction to the ring platform. Yeah, I wasn't going to grab that and risk having the fill-up mess up my timing and everything. Take care of him. Pick up the bolts. Yeah, both of those enemies have been kind of beefy. I suddenly don't remember how to deal with. I don't remember how to deal with this. Okay. At least I got that bolt. Okay, so the best way to do this is just to do... is to miss the jump entirely. I shouldn't be struggling with this, and this is not the stage designer's fault. By any means. No, I'm gonna do this legit. We're gonna do this legit. I know we can cheese this. I need to, like... There we go, easy E. I need to redeem myself a little bit there. Alright, and then we have the platforms that are going the other way. That is a problem. That is a problem. And I clearly don't know how to solve it. Bye, penguin. Alright, here we go. Just gonna chill. I do think we need assistance getting up here. I'm gonna fill this guy with concrete. So I've kinda had enough of them. Alright, that wasn't bad. Okay, I'm showing off the... We got the pattern down. Sort of. Okay, there we go. I can do this Buster only. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, don't die there. I shot Eddie. Can I get a checkpoint? Okay, so now we're getting into water. Though there was some weird color tiling up above, because you had a blue one, then a gray one, and then it went back to blue, and then the rest just all went blue. Well, the checkpointing seems to really make distinctions between the different sections of the stage, so very nice and cohesive checkpoints. And now we're just combining things. I don't know what way we want to go. Apparently not this way. Whatever. That's not that big of a reward for the different thing. Lots of running and gunning. I'm not even gonna go up there and get those. And of course we have 2 beefy enemies in this box. No! Was not fully ready for that. But okay. Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. I don't have time to kill this stuff. I guess I can still go. This is not good. This is not ideal. Easy E. Okay, that's better. And now we have to wait. Okay, I did like the general concept, but the amount of waiting this has... Like, I don't know if we're meant to make it all in one go. But that is a long wait time if you don't. I do appreciate being able to do that instead of just having it be automatic death if you aren't able to keep up with it. But I feel like for what that was, there probably should have been less of that challenge, at lesser length. And we still have just a bunch of... Most of this has been enemy challenges, and here's your platforms and stuff, but... I have pressed the fire button like 300 times already in this stage. Okay, well there's that stuff up there, I guess. This stage was pretty decent, but... I still like some of the stages we had in Tier 9 over this. This music is definitely something. We fighting the full shark? Yep. Let's show that I still remember how to do this. slightly awkward spot. Yeah, I kind of thought it was going to get me there. Alright. Isn't this thing weak to, like, the homing sniper? Sort of. Well, it's not weak to that, that's for sure. Alright. Alright, we should be fine now. Oh, as long as I don't jump into the lasers. Alrighty. Man, that was a very decent stage. It wasn't bad. Yeah, but there were some good platforming challenges. It felt like it was mostly enemy-based and lots of blasting, because you had those two, you had the Beefy penguins and the Beefy that guy. And I feel like I would have liked more focus on some of the platforming challenges, especially with those two gimmicks, but yeah, decent. I'd probably put it somewhere more in Tier 9. In general, this is a really fun level. At the start, you can really just run past the enemies, which is fun in its own right as a challenge. But it gets harder in a fair way, making you have to actually change up your tactics as you go through. A little bit, I guess. Really, I think the star of the show here is the Ringman platforms. They are used phenomenally, especially in the ending sequence where you have to outrun them. The level's pacing of being tense but not unfair really shows as it progresses, making for a really fun experience. I did not have this much fun. But yet, the guy who's talking about how great and fun it is... Okay, two main problems. Also gave it, like, the lowest score out of the judges. The first room with the fish is sort of frustrating since it's hard to predict where they will hit you. Okay, the real main problem here is you're not a competent Mega Man player. But okay, next one. It's not a huge deal since it's by a checkpoint, but it did annoy me. Also, the boss just feels out of place and too long. How can you complain about the boss? That's what the boss fight is supposed to be. What? They can't just take out 2/3 of the shark ship showdown? I thought the shark ship boss was, you know, it fit with the theme of the stage. You're kind of in space, but you also had the fish. I like that you use the Ringman platforms with the mini-boss, but the boss at the end just feels out of place. You said that. Solid level, although it could use a round of edits to be a bit better. I would have liked to have seen maybe on the first and third screens for the boss fight, either one of the ring platforms or one of the chomp platforms as a way to get up higher, just to provide players more opportunity to shoot the boss if they want to, because the first section does tend to take a bit. Nice one. My favorite part was probably the long chase with the ring platform. It felt tense, while still being fair enough to give enough room for error to not make it unfair or frustrating. The other parts of the stage were also fun, although the teleporting enemies were a bit annoying to take care of constantly. Oh wow, no scrolling here. Okay. There's a lot to like about this level. MJack, you think this level's so good, we should probably give it a skip teleporter. Probably the best thing about it is how many types of challenges are present. Enemy challenges that test your trigger finger, that was like majority of what I felt I was doing. Puzzle platforming, which requires you to plot out how you're going to make your path. Yeah, a little bit. Speedrun sections, okay, but you can pause and then just wait forever for the ring platform to respawn like I did. If you made a Venn diagram of these three varieties of challenges, I think you'd have stretches of level evenly distributed between both the circles and their cross sections. So playing through the level, you never really get bored, and it never really repeats itself. Other level designers should take notes. And yet, there's a lot of little problems with the level. I do appreciate that we did have sections that all felt different, to some extent. There's a lot of little problems with the level that somewhat hampered my enjoyment. I felt I was not quite challenged enough with this stage. There's minor aesthetic dings, like having normal gravity in space. That's okay, whatever. Or having top solids that look exactly like regular solids. I guess I don't know what that's referring to. Sometimes the bomber pepes and tamps are used together in ways that veer towards spam. I think the issue is they're just bulky. They're both bulky enemies. I think the stage might have been able to benefit from making one of those enemies, like changing the HP value of it. The fast horizontal run segment doesn't have a visible bite to it until it does, and you die. That's right, these people are not competent enough to stop somewhere and wait for it to respawn. Okay. Yeah. The mini-boss just isn't fun at all. You figure out the way to get a charge shot in, and then you slowly chip away at its health. That's the only time the fun really stops. So you have a lot of those little marks against the level. I wasn't a huge fan of the mini-boss, but I did appreciate its design. But once you kind of figure out how to do it, it is a little bit dull. It kind of... I think that mini-boss is actually the summation of how I feel about the whole stage. Neat little challenge, but once you figure it out, it's kind of just dull and repetitive. A little bit. Luckily, these little marks are just that, and don't detract from the otherwise high-quality level you've got going on here. The pacing of the level was just sort of odd, all things considered. You would go from a section that uses the gimmicks in rather nice ways to a stretch of nothing, really. Frames, we're like on the same page now. The most obvious example is at the end, where you have this big race against the Ring Man platform, and then just one really normal platforming section with a few penguins hopping around. You'd think the big climax would be the end of the level. It's certainly not a huge defactor, but it just kind of makes the whole level feel a little off with the pacing. The sections we do have aren't bad, albeit maybe a little standard at times, but are for the most part a perfect fine time. The already mentioned chase kind of suffers because while there's goodies on the top path, I'm pretty sure taking all those goodies paths will absolutely not leave you enough time to outrun the beam, and rewards usually aren't worth the potential death. It's not death if you just wait around for the beam to respawn. Oh my god. It is boring to wait around for the beam to respawn, but it's a thing you can do, people. Also, the mini-boss is incredibly painful to do without cheesing with special weapons. Okay, well, those two comments just kind of sum up, you know, the incompetence of the judges. I wouldn't call it incredibly painful. Boss with tight timing versus two separate time-based gimmicks is a big yikes from this corner. Is it time? I think I've said it before. Well, I mean, I guess Freems' comments make sense from someone who's... I'm not firing a judge for being incompetent at... Or having just average Mega Man skills instead of, you know, something better, but... I don't know, because given Freem's skill level, the comments make sense. Big eyes have nothing on these eyes. Nothing is beneath my notice. I can catch every rule breaker about 5 minutes before they even break a rule. Well, do those eyes let you see into the future? Okay, who put that lifeguard on duty? Every time he enters the water, he always electrocutes it and complains about it stinging his eyes. Oh great, more of the same enemy. More of that guy, huh? Okay. And we also have crystal droppers. And I think that's the seesaw platform gimmick. I'm not a big fan of the seesaw platform. But this made it to 14th place, so it must be good. And maybe it'll have a skip teleporter, who knows. But for now, I'll take my leave.